Another amazing week of Lego creations. This week we have a lot of very interesting architectural design and a new round of the Iron Builder. As always, remember that all the builders and the articles mentioned in this video will be linked in the description down below for you to go and check them out. Welcome to a new episode of This Week in Bricks. As always, we start from the Instagram section. The first build is by brick.ninja. Very interesting Japanese style landscape. So this has been made to talk about cycling, raising money bike ride across Japan. And this build is very cool. You can instantly recognize from where this is from. A lot of very interesting details with the classic types of thing you can see in Japan. The road on that slope is very nice with the brick build writing on the floor, some vehicles, and a classic architecture instantly recognizable for the buildings on the side. Next up, we have Dicken Liu. More about him later on. We have a very interesting little design here about a bonsai tree. So now we're going to have a new bonsai tree coming. This is definitely in a totally different style. And I love the striking contrast with the lantern, the red lantern at the bottom of this bonsai tree. Then we have Syrdarian that we've been featuring a few times recently with this very interesting design. This is a temple Yami-yami. There's a lot of very interesting texture all over this build, a lot of very interesting use of tan and nougat and all this shade of color. And I love also the details with the water and all those tiny little waterfall coming down on the side. Very good build. Next up, we have cheeseystudios, amazing YouTube channel, amazing builder. Is here today not with a Minecraft build, but with a micro scale build of a castle. More on that later on in the video. And this also reminds me the color scheme of another castle that he built, I think it was last year, that it was really stunning. There was some video about the building process of that castle, very tall castle, with a very similar color scheme, of course, in a very different scale. Next up, we have golegoego with a very interesting build. So we have this underwater scene. I love this spillover of the sand on the side, and these two characters, these two fishes. We have Nemo over here, and I think the expression of these fishes is very nice. And this is, of course, inspired by the build of Ranghaal. So Ranghaal is an amazing build that I had the chance to see his exhibition at the Lego house last year. But what I'm talking about is this. So that curved design is inspired by this, and he had many different iteration of this concept that is very cool. And my favorite is probably this smaller one with this tiny micro scale city at the bottom. Very cool. Now let's move into the article section of the video. As always, we start from tips and bricks. We have a techniques discussion about Imperial Architecture. We have many different builders featuring this article, and this is of course very interesting if you're planning to building a Star Wars MOC. So if you are looking for some ideas, here you can find some way on how to build, how to achieve this Imperial Architecture. Then we have some tips about black light. So this is something very cool. There are some specific pieces of Lego that react in a particular way to black light. So here they have a little bit of tips on how to make that work and which parts are the one that actually work. And also here we have a few different builders featured in this article. Now let's move on to New Elementary. Eero Okkonen posted a review and mock of the latest Botanical, the Petit Sunny Bouquet. Interesting set, this one, which has some interesting recolors and some very useful new technique connector that allow us to achieve a different angle. And also it's cool that this coming green because it can definitely be useful for some not just botanical but greenery in general. And also if we go and continue then in the read of this article, we can find also the amazing mock, the soothsayer of the grooves, another of the amazing characters built by Eero. Very cool as always. Then we have also some other MOCs. This one is by Tom Loftus, with parts from the May 2025 Pick a Brick. So we have some very interesting parts over there. And for each one of these parts of these items that he picked up from Pick a Brick, he built some very, very interesting little builds. Very, very fun build to look at. Then let's move on to Brick Nerd. So they have the usual monthly community highlights. So if you want to dive even deeper in what's happening around the community, you can go and scroll this article. Here you can see one of my previous This Week in Bricks video, and you can go and scroll down in many, many different articles and YouTube channel. A lot of interesting stuff that you can have a look. So go and check it out. They also have this article by Lorren Loveless about LAG, Lego user groups. I'm not part of a LAG, but I thought this could be interesting for you if you are thinking or you're looking for a community of like-minded people and you want to join a LAG. Here it gives you a little bit of an example on how these user groups work. We have also a guest article by Jesse Gros, which is talking about how he came back into Lego as an adult, starting buying set and building small MOCs, and a little bit of the journey until he managed to build big, massive stuff. That has been featured also on Beyond the Brick. You might remember looking at this League of Legends video. Now, let's move on to the Brothers Week. Some of the highlights from the Brothers Week this week is this Cylon Sci-Fi aircraft by Thomas Weigelt. Very, very cool, like a little bit kind of futuristic design. There's some very interesting angles achieved over here, and also a very nice color scheme, I have to say. Next up, we have another Star Wars build. This is the Mon Calamari Cruiser by swbuilds. This is a very, very cool design. I love this curve wall that has been achieved very nicely in this sort of diorama base. Very nice and clean look design. Also on the Brothers Brick recently, we have seen a lot of new content. We have some building techniques. We have some interviews. We have Minifg Monday. So here we are diving a little bit into some interesting custom minifigures. So if you are into this kind of things, here you can find a lot of very, very cool stuff. And for example, this week we have also an interview with Dicken Liu that we feature on the channel many, many times. And this is a very, very interesting chat with his journey with Lego, and sharing also some of the amazing builds that he made, his exhibition at the Lego house, and participating to Lego Masters. Now let's move into the contest section. We have last week of the Robo Olympics. The topic of the last week is class. So here I build my first class cabin. I will share some more build next week about the last round. Week 7, the topic was temperature. So you remember I did my little Nordic cycle, my little sauna build. Some of the highlights of that week was, for example, this toaster by Brixe. And I also like this build by Nu Montag about this about the hot spring in Japan, where these Japanese macaque like to go and bat. And this remind me of my fun Santa hot spring build that I did a couple of Christmases ago. That was a really fun build. But now let's move on to the Iron Builder. A new round is out. The Iron Builder, if you don't know, is probably the most important and the highest quality Lego competition, in which is very difficult to participate. You need to win the Iron Forge in order to participate. We talked about that in previous episodes. So now the new round, we have Team Goddard and Bousker, two amazing builders that we feature many times. And here is the part that they have to use for this, I think, 2 weeks of Iron Builder. So this is a curved aircraft door in white. So each of the builder have 100 of these. It's a part that I never own, I never saw before, so it's the first time for me seeing this part, but they are knocking out of the park with some amazing build. So Bousker started with this shoe store, very, very cool, how we use the door for the logo, I don't know, with the price or whatever that are at the front, but every pair of shoes has this use, generally in a different place. So for example, we have those like, I don't know, stiletto shoes on the right, with 2 of those curved doors, but also we can see for the black shoes at the bottom, he managed to put the door inside the floor to achieve a little bit of the edge all around the shoes. Very interesting. Then Tim has this little ship, very, very nice and sleek design. You can see the aircraft door used for the wings, and they seamlessly go into the aircraft to create a very nice shape. Then, of course, we have this winter sleepy time. As always, we have the part used as a roof, but here in this build, it's not just a roof. We have a little bit of details on the bottom side, and also if we look into the window, we can see it's been used as a pillow at the back of the minifigure over there, and also on the sofa. Very, very interesting use over here. Another very cool one is the iron penguin. So we can see the door has been used at the bottom side of the penguin. But if you look closely also at the back of the ship coming in the background, you can see two of those doors has been used to create the base, the hull of this big ship. Last one for now, we have the Daisy Door Days. So a sort of botanical build. Each of the petals of this flower has been made with this door, and it has been used also all around for the vase of these, for the pot of these flowers. This is just the first few days of the Iron Builder, so I will share some more updates in the following week. You can check out the builds here on the website or on the Discord server that I will link down below, as well as the profile of the two participants, the two competitors over here. My suggestion for Lego ideas this week, this build is by Alegorie. So here is the profile of the builder, and here is this very cool build. This is called the Root Children Spring Awakening. I'm not familiar with these. I guess it comes from a book or something of that sort. But I think it's a very, very nice design. I love all this detail at the top, and I love a little bit this forced perspective that has been achieved kind in a way like in the Starry Night build. This is a kind of modular design. I'm not familiar with the story, so I'm not too sure if it's popular enough to be a Lego ideas, but I really appreciate here how good is this design, even though I think this might be very, very part intensive. Now, my suggestion from YouTube this week, we start from Racing Brick. We have one new video from the series of alternates from Rebrickable. I've been building some alternative build recently, so this is a very fun activity. Here we have two Millennium Falcon, two Star Wars alternate model, very, very cool. Then we have Brickman Brothers. They managed to put the light into their Eurocity train, so this is very cool in the night mode with the train that even though it's running through the track, it still get light up very, very nicely. And also we can see a little bit of the corner of the city that has been updated in the last few episodes of Brickcraft or Bob Brickman. Next up, we have Hippolyte Brick. So we feature him multiple times. He has a very nice big Cloud City Star Wars MOC on 3 different levels. Here you can see all the behind the scene. It's a very, very nice build. I love also those micro scale details on the top of the outside of the window, and it's very nice to see all of this coming together. We also have Alex Nunes with 36 years of collecting and this 1000 YouTube video where he goes a little bit through the history of his channel and his journey in building this massive Lego city. This is one of the biggest cities that you can find online. We also have cheeseystudios I mentioned earlier. We have this little video about this micro scale castle that he has been building over the years in many different variations on bigger scale, and now he managed to build this in a very, very cool micro scale. We mentioned about that earlier on in the video. On my channel you can find I designed my own friend set. It was a very fun activity to try to design a Lego set even not being a Lego designer, and it was a really fun activity. I will share my experience throughout the video, and we also have the members only vlog with a little bit of additional behind the scene behind this and behind my builds for the Rogue Olympics. Monday a new video is coming with the last 4 builds of my the Rogue Olympics campaign. If you want to support the channel, consider do your shopping on Amazon US. If you need to do some gift, for example, here we have the bouquet of roses, 20% off. Mother's Day is coming soon, so this could be a chance. But if you want to support the channel, you don't need to buy anything. You just need to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, or go and watch some of the previous episodes of This Week in Bricks that you might have missed. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Ciao, ciao.